Hi everyone, just going to give it a few more minutes for a couple more people to join and then we will begin. Okay, perfect. I think we are good to go. So hi everyone. Thank you so much for attending our webinar. We're super excited to share some insights today into holistic financial well-being and also the increasing trend of female property investment and why it is such a powerful tool for long-term financial security. So for our agenda today, Rhiannon will introduce Women Like Us, which is a network dedicated to empowering women through financial literacy and independence. We will also explore the concept of holistic financial well-being, highlighting the key elements that contribute to long-term security. We'll then look at gaining some valuable female-focused property insights, followed by the lovely Chloe, who will give us an introduction to select property and an in-depth look at the UK property market. We'll then just look at discovering the best opportunities for investing in the UK and how to make informed decisions for your financial future. To conclude, we have a very exciting invitation to you all, which Rhiannon will cover towards the end of our session. So just to give you all an introduction to your speakers today. So my name is Amara. I'm a chartered UK qualified financial planner. I have been advising individuals and women in the UK on their finances for the last 9 years. And I am now in the Middle East looking to support individuals, families, and women here in the region. And I also co-run Women Like Us, which is a network that Rhiannon will give you a little bit more information about shortly.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Rhiannon. I've been a financial planner now for about 12 years, and like Amara, I'm UK qualified, having spent most of my career advising clients in the UK. Now I'm based in Dubai, where I provide financial planning to individuals and families across the Middle East with a particular focus on women and their families.
Perfect. And hi, everybody. My name is Chloe Hilton. I am the head of sales in the Middle East for Select Property. I have been based in Dubai and working with the company for almost 12 years now. And during this time, I've helped thousands of people to invest into the UK. And I've noticed over the last couple of years a huge increase in the amount of female investors and families that I help. Which is why I'm so excited to be partnered with Women Like Us. So thank you so much again for having me.
Okay, so let me give you a bit of background about Women Like Us then. So I co-lead this initiative along with Amara, as she said before. Now, Women Like Us is part of Skybound Wealth Management, which is the company that we work for. And we started running Women Like Us for a number of different reasons, actually. One in particular being that the financial services industry is still very much male-dominated, especially in this part of the world. And quite simply, not everybody feels comfortable sitting in front of a man in a suit. And we believe that there's real value in offering something different. But Women Like Us goes much further than that. We believe that focusing on women is essential. And that's because women face distinct challenges and opportunities. So Women Like Us exist to support and empower women to navigate these with confidence. And there's a few different reasons why we believe it's so important to focus on women when it comes to financial planning. So I'll just quickly walk you through some of the points. The first thing is women tend to live longer than men. And that means that we need to make sure that our money lasts longer too, through retirement and beyond. Longevity is a gift, but it also does mean more years to plan for. But there's also the issue for women of career breaks and income gaps. Now, many women will take time out of work to focus on raising children and caring for their families. They may work part-time or in lower paid roles, and that can mean lower earnings, smaller retirement pots, and more pressure to make every dirham or pound work harder over time. We also can't ignore the cultural and social barriers that still do exist today. Now, in many parts of the world, including here in the Middle East, women haven't always had the same access to financial education or decision making, and that makes financial literacy and support even more important. And there's also something known as the investment confidence gap. So studies show that women will often feel less confident when it comes to investing than men, even though we're more than capable of making financial decisions and managing money. When we do invest, we just have less confidence. And so part of our role within Women Like Us is to offer guidance and reassurance and to help women feel more comfortable in growing their wealth. And then finally, legacy and protection planning is often top of mind for women, especially for those of us who are caregivers. Whether it's making sure that your children are looked after or having the right cover in place for unexpected events, these things really matter when it comes to securing your family's future. So through Women Like Us, we've created a space that's built around women's financial lives. We focus on education, support, and making sure that women feel really confident when it comes to taking control of their financial futures.
Okay, so when we think about financial well-being, we often focus on the basics: income, your savings, maybe a couple of investments. But true financial well-being is more than that. It's about having control. It's about having choices, especially as a woman. And it's about building a life where the money that you've worked hard for is a tool that also then works for you, not a source of stress. Yet a lot of women do find themselves feeling uncertain about their financial futures. Maybe you've been putting off planning because life's too busy. Maybe you've been told that finances are complicated or risky, or you're earning well, but you're not sure about building your wealth. Now, some of what I've just said, I'm sure with a lot of you here today, might sound familiar. So I would just like to take a couple of minutes just to look at the 5 key pillars of holistic financial well-being. So the first one being financial security. It's really important to have a think. If something was to happen to me tomorrow, whether that's an illness, a job loss, a family emergency, would I be financially prepared? Now, a safety net, it's not a luxury, it's a necessity. So what does that mean? Do you have enough emergency savings in a cash account? Do you have the right insurance? So whether that's life insurance or critical illness cover? And do you have a financial plan in place that protects you from those life uncertainties? Second pillar, wealth building. Now, earning money is one thing, but making it work for you is another. Things to think about: are you investing wisely? Is your money growing, or is it just sitting in cash? Women do tend to be more cautious when it comes to their investments, but the truth is, strategic investing is the key to you having that long-term success when it comes to your finances. The third pillar is debt management. Now, it's really important, not all debt is bad, but your debt does need to be managed. So are you clear on the difference between good debt that builds your future, like property, and then bad debt that then drains your finances? So it's really important that you do have that strategy in place to balance that and to reduce those financial burdens. The fourth pillar, long-term planning. It's very uncomfortable to think about, but it's super crucial. What happens when that time comes that you're going to stop working? Will you have enough to retire on, to live life how you want to live it? Have you considered estate planning, transferring your wealth, guardianship for your loved ones? If you don't plan for the future in the correct way, someone else will, and it may not be in your best interest. And then finally, financial confidence. So this is essentially the foundation of it all. When you feel empowered and you're educated about money, you tend to make better choices. You tend to take control, you stop second guessing yourself. And it's really important that women feel comfortable with this, because when you are financially confident, you're more secure as well. So the truth is, when it comes to financial well-being, it's not just about how much you have in your bank account. It's about knowing whatever happens, that you've got a plan in place, you're in control, and that then ensures that you have choices when it comes to your life.
Okay, thanks, Amara. So as Amara mentioned there, one of the key pillars when it comes to financial well-being is building wealth. And that's what I just want to take a couple of minutes to focus on now. Building wealth isn't just about saving more. It's about putting your money to work in a way that aligns with your goals, your risk tolerance, and your values. And one method that continues to stand the test of time is property investment, now particularly UK property. And investing in property can provide both capital growth and a regular income stream. And for many people, it feels tangible and reassuring. It's something that you can see and understand. And for those living abroad, it can also offer a way to maintain a financial foothold back home, if you're from the UK, for example, or to plan for future relocation or retirement. And interestingly, more and more women are turning to property investment as a means of building long-term wealth. So in fact, we've got some statistics to share with you. Recent stats show that 48% of UK landlords are now female, which is a real shift from where the industry was just a few years ago. And since 2017, the number of female property investors has increased by 10%. Now, why is that? Well, studies show that women tend to feel a natural affinity with property. Compared to stocks and shares or crypto, property can feel more stable and secure, particularly for those who are risk conscious or value long-term planning. Now, at Women Like Us, we've seen firsthand how empowering it can be when women take that step, whether it's buying a first investment property, building a portfolio, or using property as a core part of their overall financial strategy. So with that in mind, I'm really pleased to hand over to Chloe from Select Property. Chloe's part of the team at Select, and she's helped thousands of investors around the world build wealth through carefully selected UK property opportunities.
Thank you, Rhiannon. So just a quick introduction to Select Property. We have been delivering the strongest returns for Gulf investors since 2005. We've actually just celebrated our 20-year anniversary here in the Middle East and have been operating as a business since 2004. Over the last 21 years, we've sold just over £2.9 billion worth of property. We have 4 international offices. So our head office is Manchester. We have an office here in Dubai, where I'm speaking to you from, Hong Kong and Shanghai. And I'd like to point out that females actually make up 50% of our global offices. And I think this is real sentiment to the fact that women do like to deal with women. Over 50% of our annual business comes from repeat customers and referrals, which I think really speaks quality of our work, not just as developers, but also as a management company. So let's have a look at the UK market in a bit more detail. So high levels of liquidity. The UK real estate market is one of the most liquid markets in the world, ranking second only behind the US. Basically, what this means is properties are easy to buy and sell, making it an ideal market for domestic and international investors looking for stability and quick returns. We're top ranking in transparency, so the UK continues to lead the way in real estate transparency. JLL recently reported that we secured the #1 spot again in their global real estate transparency index. The transparency fosters a secure and reliable investment environment, reducing the risk and ensuring that our investors have excuse me, a clear, accessible information to make informed decisions on their investments. Something that's really important, I think, is the currency advantage. The British pound is currently trading at 17% lower to the US dollar compared to 10 years ago. International investors are able to take advantage of a more affordable market. And this currency advantage really boosts the value of UK properties for foreign buyers. So it really creates a prime opportunity for purchasing at a more attractive price point to those actually based in the UK. Education, something that's very important, especially to us women who have children studying in the UK, for example. The UK has a world-class education system, and 4 of our universities are actually in the top 10 of the QS World University rankings. This continues to drive demand for housing from both students and academics. And this really creates a consistent demand for residential properties, particularly in big university cities. The most obvious one, I think, is a housing shortfall, which is driving rental demand. The UK's housing shortfall is 120,000 by 2028. The demand for housing, particularly rental properties, is only going to increase. The ongoing imbalance with supply and demand really guarantees strong rental yields and long-term growth, making the UK real estate market a really smart investment choice for the future. There's things that are obviously adding to this. One of those is growth in key industries, for example, the tech and science industries, which currently employ around 3 million people. The tech industry is valued at about $1 trillion, making it the third largest in the world. Together, these 6 factors really make the UK property market an attractive, stable, profitable investment opportunity. So you're probably thinking now, which city am I going to invest in? There's so many in the UK. And there's been a huge increase in demand for city centre properties, which is something that we specialise in as a developer. Our acquisitions team work really hard to identify the best cities and the best locations for our investors to ensure that we can maintain strong capital growth and rental demand. If you have a look at the graph on the right-hand side, you'll see a consistent increase in property prices from 2007 to 2024. We're expecting to see an additional 20% increase in those property values over the next 5 years. And alongside that, rental growth is expected to rise by the same amount, around 20% over the same period, meaning that this is a really attractive option for investors looking for consistent and healthy returns. And when it comes to the cities with the best investment potential, we've identified Manchester and Birmingham as our standout choices. Both of the cities offer a combination of strong economic growth, infrastructure, development, and there's a huge increase in demand for housing, making them prime locations for investment. So let's have a look at those in a bit more detail. Manchester, which is our bread and butter. If you look up in the sky in Manchester, we've been a part of or developed the majority of skyscrapers there already. Manchester is known as the capital of the North. Rents have increased by 46% in the last 5 years, and this is mainly down to things like job creation and a 51% student retention rate, which is one of the highest in the country. New build properties in the city centre with amenities like we're used to here in the Middle East, things that we take for granted every day, like a gym and a swimming pool, and even things like security and a concierge, up until now were quite unheard of in the UK. And I think places like this are really being prioritised by renters in the city centre. And finally, Birmingham. So Birmingham is actually the UK's second largest city after London. It's undergoing a massive expansion and regeneration, and it's really quickly becoming a hub of culture, business and innovation. And we've seen a huge influx of companies operating there or moving their head offices from places like London. Just to mention a few, companies like the BBC, Goldman Sachs, PwC, huge companies. And I think because of this, we're expecting to see a 24% price growth over the next 5 years, which is higher than any other city in the UK. We're also expecting 16% economic growth. And I think this is mainly down to the huge regeneration projects across the city, particularly in the city centre. And demand is larger than any other city in the UK, making this a very compelling investment case. And if you would like to learn some more about the properties that we have available in Manchester or Birmingham, we have actually just launched something in Manchester today, which is off market. But if you would like to have some more specific details or learn more, I can certainly share those opportunities with you after the webinar. But on that note, I will hand you back to Rhiannon to tell you about something very exciting.
Thank you very much, Chloe. So before we finish up the webinar today, we would be based here in Dubai to join us for a really special wellness morning. It's due to take place on Thursday, the 24th of April at 8 AM. And we'll be hosting it at Joe's the Grocer on West Palm Beach. It's going to be such a lovely way to start your day. We're going to begin with a really relaxing yoga session, followed by a lovely healthy breakfast and an insightful presentation on investing in UK property. So you can stretch, sip your coffee and learn something really valuable all in one morning. Now, if you would like to come along, please just scan the QR code that's on screen to book your place, or feel free to email us, call or WhatsApp on the number that's shown as well. And then finally, I just want to thank you all very much for joining us today. We really do hope that everyone found it helpful, and we would love to see you at our Wellness Morning if you are based here in Dubai. Should you have any questions, if you would like any more information, or to book a complimentary meeting with one of us to chat about your financial planning and UK property investment options, then again, please do just get in touch by WhatsApp, call us or email us. We'd be more than happy to help. And we hope to see you all again soon.
Thank you.